Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Now, as you know, I haven't been putting out a lot of videos recently, and I think it's just because one of the reasons, obviously, I've had a lot of stuff going on, but another reason is that there's everything that's being brought out is we've seen it all before: glossy lipsticks, palettes, and the thing that's always spikes my attention is when something is innovative or something saves you hassle. And this actually grabbed my attention because it does both. So this was a card that was inside my cohorted beauty box, which I will be doing shortly. And it was a little card saying money off if you purchase this. And it intrigued me so much. And it's a company called Dcypher. I'm just going to show you. So there it is, Dcypher. Okay, now what is different about this? It's a foundation. And what it is that they claim to make a custom-made foundation for your skin tone. All right. Now, this is how it works. You go onto the site. First of all, it will ask you, do you like your foundation matte, dewy, radiant? What kind of finish do you want? Okay. Then it says, right, next we want to know what coverage do you want? Do you want sheer? Do you want medium? Do you want full? And there's all sorts in between. There's like a little slider. So you can go from kind of sheer to medium, medium to full, etc., etc. And then it takes you to the face scan, and it tells you to stand in a good light facing a window, and it scans your face twice. And then it gives you a unique code, which is your foundation shade. Now, they claim to have many different shades. They basically make the foundation bespoke to your skin shade. So, if they need to put a bit of red or a bit of yellow or a bit of this and a bit of that, and they mix it to your unique skin tone. Now, I was intrigued by this because if it works, it would be fantastic, wouldn't it? So what they do after they've scanned your face is they then send you out a sample, which is what I have here. And if this is a good match to your skin, then you scan the code. You have to pay for the foundation, but you only get the sample first of all. If it's a good match, you then scan the code and they send you the full size. If it's not a good match, then it tells you what to do. There is a kind of email at help@Dcypher.me, which basically you write to them and they help you to sort out what went wrong. Now, also, as you can see, my hyperpigmentation is through the roof, and that's with SPF 50, applied liberally every day, more than once a day, but it's still completely out of control at the moment, really freckly looking. So I'm intrigued to see how it matched me because, do you match to the darker bits or the lighter bits? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so here is it. I haven't opened this yet. I'm really intrigued. It looks quite light. I have to say I'm not very hopeful, but I'm really praying that it matches. So I thought I'm going to do a try on live on here. Not live, but you know what I mean. Do the first try on here, first impression, so you can see exactly, does it match my skin? And I'll probably tanned a bit. Now, the other thing to say before I dip into this, because I'm getting a bit nervous. One of the questions in the kind of frequently asked questions is, if it's a really good match for me, can I order the same unique code? And they said no, because our skin changes frequently in the summer and in the winter. And therefore, when you go to reorder, you have to scan your face again, because it's likely that your skin shade has changed, and hopefully mine will have changed. Look at that pigmentation. Talk about completely out of hand. Anyway, So let's get going with this. I'm just going to open up the jar. I'm very nervous because I just don't think this is going to work, but we shall see. Okay, I've opened the jar. Now, before I put it on, just one more word. I deliberately went for a very high coverage. Not because I necessarily want a high coverage, but because I wanted to test it. Now, if you have a sheer foundation, they don't have to get as close a match. And I really wanted to put this to the test. Does this thing work? And the ghost is opening the door again. No, it's not. It's Jack. So I went for a medium to full coverage. Hello, Jack. And the thing is that if it is a really good match, you also have, I'll talk about prices in a minute, but you can get a package where you get the foundation, but you can also get some pigment drops, which you can drop into your moisturiser and make a tinted moisturiser. So for those two reasons, I thought I might as well go for it and get a fuller coverage foundation. Okay. Right, let's get started with this. I'm going to put it on with a beauty blender. Actually, it's not looking too bad. Let's see. And I went for dewy finish or radiant finish. That's not bad at all. A bit yellow. I'm always matched to warm. I might look a bit grey because I did put a bit of sunscreen top up on before. So it's given me a little bit of a white hue, which may make the foundation look a bit yellower than it would normally. Let's get this round the eyes. Now the other test will be, does it make my eyes water? Because I've been using my La Prairie and that does not make my eyes water. A bit up here. Because it's full coverage, I've got to make sure I cover every bit. That is not a bad match at all. I'm very surprised, very pleasantly surprised. The only thing is, I think I've got so used to using a neutral foundation to neutralise some of my hyperpigmentation that it's feeling a bit on the yellow side. So the question is, do I say, yes, it's a good shade, but can you take some of the yellow out, please? Or do I keep it as it is? Okay, so that is it. That is the foundation. And all I did was scan my face and send it off to Dcypher me. Now, if you're interested in this, I'll be interested in your opinion on whether you think that's a good match for me. Bearing in mind, I did put on a sunscreen that gave me a little bit of a whitish hue before I put this on, which may have made it look more yellow than it is. I didn't go for super duper full coverage. I went for medium to full coverage. So it's not covering all my pigmentation, but as I said, you can see it's really popping through at the moment. So be interested to know whether you think this is a good match. If you are interested in ordering this foundation, I do have a discount code. The discount code came with cohorted, but don't fear, because you don't have to prove you've got a cohorted subscription box in order to use the code. So I will put that code underneath this video. So normally it's 29 or 28 pounds, but you get it for 24 pounds, and you don't get the full size until you test out your little sample. Then you get 2 QR codes sent to you like this, and if it's a good match and you basically want to go ahead, then you scan one of these 2. Now one of them is just the foundation on its own, which is 24 pounds plus postage and package, and the other one is 40 pounds, which is the foundation, 30 mils of foundation, and the pigment drops, which you can kind of drop into your, you know, with pigment drops, you can drop it into moisturizer, you can drop it into other products that you have in order to kind of customize your own kind of tinted moisturizer, that kind of thing. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I just keep looking at my face. I'm amazed at actually how close it has got to my skin tone, and I think the reason that I'm thinking it's a bit too yellow is because I put on sunscreen just before, and in actual fact I think that's a pretty good match. But do let me know what you think, and even if you think it's not a good match, I'd love to know your opinion. But it is giving me a dewy finish, which is what I chose, a dewy radiant finish, and it is medium to full coverage, which is what I asked for, and it's a very good match. So if you get really stressed picking out foundation shades and can never get a good match, it's maybe worth giving this a try. Dcypher. Take care. See you all very soon. Bye-bye. Mwah. Hi everyone, it's the next day, and one of the things I thought before I put this video out is I wanted to have another go at putting this foundation on and to use a sunscreen that does not have the white cast on it, because I think that can make your foundation look more yellow, and I want to double check this foundation for myself before I send off for the full size. So I thought I'm going to do it with a sunscreen that doesn't cause a white cast, and I'm also going to put it on with a brush. So let's see this morning what it's looking like. I was very impressed with it, I have to say, yesterday, and it wore incredibly well. So I'm just going to dot some of this around my face, and I'm going to put quite a bit on because, as you can see, I have got a lot of pigmentation showing up at the moment, which I want to cover up because I'm going out to get my car serviced. And then I'm going to try it with a brush. And again, a brush will give you slightly heavier coverage depending on how you use the brush. If you stipple it, it's going to give you a heavier coverage over the cheek area. And if you swipe, obviously, it's not going to give as much, but it's still going to be more than a sponge. So that is actually looking very good. And it doesn't look as yellow. So I kind of reassured myself, because if you have a white cast, it's just going to make you look cooler. So when you apply foundation, it's going to look yellow to counteract the white. But actually, now I haven't got that white cast, I think you can see it's a very impressive match. So I am satisfied. I'm going to go ahead and order this. Let me just finish putting this on. And I'm just going to dot some more over my very badly pigmented areas and stipple. I'm very happy with that match. Oh, look, I missed one. This camera shows up everything. Oh, I thought I'd missed a facial hair then, but it's not. Okay, so I hope that's been helpful. Definitely not too yellow now. So when you're trying out a foundation, learn from my lessons. Don't put a sunscreen on with a white cast because it is going to make your foundation look yellower than it is. Okay, see you all later. Bye-bye.